Hello everyone, this is Dave from Dave's Recent Things. Alright, I know Easter week hasn't come out yet, but it is coming out next week. I will tell you why I delayed it just a little bit. Number one, it is later in the year, not until April 20th. Last year it was the end of March, so I had released it a little bit earlier last year. This year I just kind of want to take my time. I don't want to rush anybody into Easter. So next week, Day 1, next Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, it will be released. Today, I'm going to do something off of my request list from all of you out there. The Dollar Tree bicycle wheel wreath, we're going to create a little Easter centerpiece using that wreath frame. Why don't I just get started and I'll show you what I made. Here is that bicycle wreath frame I was talking about in my introduction. I'm going to be using 6-inch deco mesh and I'm going to be using 6 rolls of this. You can also find deco mesh that's similar at the Dollar Tree as well. Some matching pipe cleaners, and I have this little flocked Easter bunny that is so popular right now. Some white paintable eggs, and I'm going to be using my regular crafting utensils to create this project today. This is the layout of the materials that I'm going to be using. So I'm using 6 rolls of the deco mesh for this project. And to cut the deco mesh, I'm going to be using the magic number of 22 inches today. So that is the length of the deco mesh I'm cutting. And I'm going to be using a rotary cutter to do my cuts. If you don't have a mat and a rotary cutter, scissors and a ruler work absolutely perfect. My favorite new hack is to place my deco mesh in this little bin with holes on the side using those dowels. I just unravel the deco mesh a little bit, make sure it's on the top side, make sure it's nice and even, and then I just pull it and boom, look at this. I can do my 22-inch cuts so nice and effortlessly. 3 of them at a time. Love this idea. This is not my idea, but I absolutely loved it. So today we're doing the woodland ruffle or the cruffle method. I'm using the 6 rolls of 6 by 18 foot deco mesh, cutting in lengths of 22 inches. So with my rolls, I got 60 pieces cut at the 22 inches. And to create our woodland ruffle, I'm going to take 1 piece of the deco mesh, a weight, half a pipe cleaner, and a little clip. Then I'm just going to roll out that deco mesh with the curl side up. Starting at the other side, I'm going to just roll it nice and tightly, about 3 or 4 times. It's totally up to you how many times you want to roll it. Clip that, then we're going to rotate it around 180 degrees and we're going to work on that other side, doing the exact same thing. So we're just going to roll it 2 or 3 times. And now what we're going to do is we're going to place our thumbs right in the center and let those fingers do the walking. We're just going to gather that center portion of the deco mesh in a ruffle method. And then once we get to the curl we created, undo that clip, find your middle, squeeze it together, and that's going to create your little loops and your little ruffles. So this is the woodland or cruffle method. Now we're going to take that pipe cleaner. This is just a normal pipe cleaner I cut right in half. We're going to twist it around the center a couple of times, and there you go. Our first little woodland / cruffle bundle is ready. And I'm going to continue on doing that same thing with all of my deco mesh. I have done a couple of different colors, but the method is still the same. You curl both ends. Once you get to the second end, you just place your thumbs down, anchor them, gather the deco mesh with your fingers to create your ruffle, squish it in the middle or gather it in the middle, grab that pipe cleaner and just wrap it around the center, and that's going to create your bundles. And today I did create 60 bundles. Your numbers might be a little bit different. It all depends on the deco mesh. Sometimes deco mesh gives you a little more, sometimes the rolls are a little bit less, but anywhere between, let's say, 48 and 60 is good. So here is our wreath frame. This is the bicycle wreath frame, and it has 12 spokes that are going to go all the way around. And since I got 60 bundles, I'm going to do 5 bundles per spoke. So in order to attach it, I'm just going to take my first bundle, open up that pipe cleaner, making sure that spoke is right in the middle of those 2 stems of the pipe cleaner. And then we just twist it a couple of times. And then we're going to just cut the excess off, And for this one, I'm just going to make sure those pointed edges are facing downward. And then I'm just going to take my next bundle, wrap it around the exact same way, making sure that spoke is right in the center of those two stems, twist it around a couple of times, chop off the excess, and then place those little stems facing down. When you flip it over, you can move your stems around, fluff it up a little bit, but you can kind of see where it's going with the first two so far. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take those next three bundles, do the exact same method, twisting them around, making sure the center of that little spoke is right in the middle of those pipe cleaners. And our first row is all done. I'm fluffing it up a little bit. Now we're going to work on our second row, and it's going to be the exact same thing. You just take those bundles, attach them on there, chop off the excess. Now I did 5 of these bundles per section. You can see here it's nice and full. You can get away with 4, it'll still be nice and full as well. So now I've done the first 2. Now I'm just going to finish off with the remaining 10 spokes, adding it all the way around. And I came into a little problem. Here's a little trick for you. One of my spokes came apart. I pulled too tight on it. If you have electrical tape, now electrical tape I love because they are a quick fix for these little wire frames. You just wrap it around, pulling that electrical tape around the spoke that came loose and the outside wire, and boom, nice and fixed, and you don't have to worry about your bundles coming off. So that's a nice little tip and trick that I had up my sleeve for that. And here we are, we're all done. This is my favorite part, turning it over, and look at the abundance of color on this. Love it. I always have smiles on my face whenever I start turning over that base wreath and seeing what it looks like. Here is our base wreath for our centerpiece so far. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take another one of those frames, trace it out on a piece of cardboard, cut it out with a pair of scissors, and I'm just going to follow that line, just cutting on that line that I created, and then I'm going to take some of that Dollar Tree stash of felt that I had. Now, is this just me, or does anybody else have a problem with these stickies? It seems for me, these are my nemesis, these little stickies, not just on the cloth, but on the florals, on anything. It seems like it takes me a half an hour to get those off. Oh, anyways, I'm going to lay my cardboard on top of the fabric. I'm going to cut around, giving it a little bit of a seam allowance, and then I'm going to make little tabs right along the outside edge there, add some hot glue onto the cardboard, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold those tabs over right into the hot glue. Use your warning, just be careful, hot glue's hot. I did burn my fingers a couple of times, but that's my own fault. And once it's all done, we have our little cover that's going to go on the back side of that wreath so we don't scratch our surface with all of those pipe cleaners and wires. And all I'm going to do for this, I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue in a couple of sections at a time, and I'm just going to hot glue this all the way around, making sure that that bottom portion doesn't go anywhere. So I'm just working in little sections at a time. You can kind of see here, and then I'm going to hold it down for a bit. Once it's all dry, we have our base wreath once again ready to decorate, and here is our little flocked friend. Now, none of the pipe cleaners that I attached on there were glued down or anchored, so it makes it really easy for me to go in the center, open it up, add our little bunny friend on there, and you can see it's not going anywhere. It's secured in there. So I added my little bunny, and I got these little eggs. These are paintable eggs, but I'm going to use white here. Now, these are just my choices. This is going in my kitchen. My kitchen is full of white, and I really wanted the deco mesh to pop today. I want it to stand out. I want that color to really come to life. So I thought the white bunny with the white eggs, with the white counter and the white kitchen cabinets, that deco mesh will just surely be so much color added to my kitchen. Here's the final result. I didn't glue anything down. You can glue it down if you want, but I kind of decided I'm not going to glue anything down. Just if I want to change it up next year, I totally can. I can still use the same base wreath that we created here. the wreath frame, I should say, and I can change it up next year if I want. This year, I want it all white on top of all of that color. Here it is in my kitchen, and of course, like I said, those colors just come to life with that white bunny, my white counter, the white eggs. The focal point really is this colorful deco mesh on our little DIY Dollar Tree bicycle wreath frame centerpiece. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed today's little DIY video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new project. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.